Hello everyone, it is Lilah here, and yes, I know, my May energy update is late. However, the energies of April, May seem to have dissolved into one another, and so I'm really looking at a continuum, and I feel that May's energy really starts to become apparent in the middle of May, heading towards the end of June. So my guidance has suggested that I just wait a bit. And as with spiritual guidance, one needs to have patience, right? So for those of you returning, thank you so much for listening. And for those of you new, my name is Lilah. I am a healer and seer, and I work from my practice in Cape Town, South Africa. For this month's May energy update, again a reminder, from mid-May to the end of June, there are 4 main themes. So I'm going to mention them now, and then I'll elaborate on each one of them. The first one is stability and balance, or stabilization. The second one is be discerning and vigilant because of the mind-filled electrical storms out there. The third theme is a continued theme, but one that comes into play more than ever now, May, June, leading up to the solstice. And that was mentioned in my 2022 video, yearly update about choices and how those choices actually imply a direction of energy. And then the fourth one is an interesting one, since many of you that meditate or work with your chakras, however you would like to call them, know that there are lower chakras from the solar plexus down. For me, these are dissolving. So I'll speak a bit more about that when I get into the discussion of the topics. Just a reminder that I do offer one-on-one sessions, both online and in person if you live in Cape Town. That I have an online Starburst community, which is for light activation, Q&A sessions, and you also get a bonus birthday gift of a free session from me. And of course, I have my beautiful community of the White Rose, which is my own spiritual ministry, interfaith, non-denominational, that I hold here in Rondebosch the first Thursday of every month between 6 and 7. It's a small community, but it's growing, and I'd really like to see that grow into a greater benefit to many people. There are other offerings, but those are the main ones I want to share with you now. Have a look at the links below, and please hit the subscribe notification button and share to anyone that you might feel will find this information valuable. So, mid-May, end of June, energy update, here we go. The first one of stabilization and balance is really related to us as humans becoming more and more aware of our energy field, of how we are impacted by the energy of others, of how our energy impacts others. And so, dependent on where you are in your ascension journey or your spiritual awakening journey, or just being conscious, some of what I share may be more relevant than others. But the stabilization and balance is really looking at our use of the heart field. And if you've watched my videos and heard me talk before, you'll know that for me, the one important field is that of the spiritual heart. It is the all-seeing eye. It is that seeding point of consciousness when we incarnate, and hold so much more wisdom than I feel we've even started to tap into. So holding a coherent field, centered in the heart and connected, because I don't want to use the word grounded anymore because that's also becoming irrelevant, connected into the earth's electrical field in her heart, is where we are being asked to bring our attention. So anything that destabilizes you, be it a person, place, circumstance, anything that throws you out of balance, are things to look at and consider and ask yourself how you can bring them back into balance, how you can find more stability. Even just bringing a single awareness to your breath, the focus, come into the moment, take a deep inhalation, a deep exhalation, that will already start working with your heart field and begin to create a sense of balance and centeredness. Because there is a lot of chaotic energy out there. Many of the energetic matrices, the conscious thought forms that people have been operating in for thousands of years are breaking apart. as new light activations, new structures, new codes, cosmic rays come into our planetary field, as the call to awaken, the call to become more conscious really grows. So this dissolution, this chaos, this breaking apart is a bit like if you imagine that pick up sticks, or the block game where you build the blocks and then you slowly start taking them out and see how far you can get until they all collapse. We're at that stage, right? Pieces are being pulled out, constructs, consciousness constructs are being removed, and as those get pulled, this field in which we've all been working that is no longer for our highest good and healing is breaking apart, and at some point that is going to collapse. There's going to be a bit of a dust storm, but that feeling of chaos, of confusion, of from one day to the next not really knowing where you are, is healed, helped, assisted by coming into the heart and maintaining stability and balance. So look where you're being knocked off balance. Look where you're being pulled off balance. These are all energetic representations that you're not in your center. What makes you feel unstable? Right, so that's step one. The second aspect for mid-May, end of June, is about being discerning and vigilant. For those of you that follow me on Instagram would have seen my post a couple of days ago where I spoke about mind storms, electrical storms. It's difficult to put into words, but I see it coming through in a number of my clients. I feel it myself. I see it in the field. I receive guidance in my meditations. Is that there are electrical storms out there. And when I talk electrical storms, I'm not talking about our understanding of electricity, right? I'm talking about that current, that mind current. We all know that on a biological level, we have an electrocardiogram that measures the heart electromagnetic field. We have an EEG that measures the mind electrical field. Electromagnetism is the field in which we have engaged on our now asked to move beyond that. But what is happening as, I'm trying to find the right words here, unplugging, right? I often use this analogy with some of my clients is, the Dodgem cars at the fairs, right? And the Dodgem cars have this connection to this electrical mesh that brings down the energy to the car. We are connected through our higher chakras, through the crown, to our own source light. That is the purest connection. It should be the only connection. But because our mind field, the mental field, the layers of the mind leading up to the higher mind, because there are many layers, are a bit like fractals, like if you look at the fractal geometry, the Mandelbrot series. I'm sure most of you know what a fractal is. If you don't, consider a fern plant, where when it starts growing, right, it unfurls, it unfolds, it comes in the spiral, the Fibonacci spiral. That is the natural nature of our mind, of our thought forms, of that mental aspect. So these fields, these fractals, these lines of current have been plugged into a matrix or a field that is relevant to your current way of thinking. So for instance, a narcissist might be plugged into a very different field than someone who is deeply empathic, since they work more from the heart. If you have repeating thoughts, iterative thoughts, there's a lower mind field that you might be plugged into. You will have heard me also speak before that as the ego matrix collapses, people are being unplugged from it, disconnected from it. So because there's so much happening in the mental realm with people overthinking, overanalyzing, being stressed, being anxious, it's like an electrical storm out there. So a lot of people's mental fields are short-circuiting. They're feeling a little bit crazy. Their thoughts might be scattered, repetitive, and also more vulnerable to other people's thoughts. Because the field of fear, the field of overanalysis, paralysis is growing, right? And so what I'm asking you is, firstly, what are you plugged into? What thoughts are you plugged into? What thoughts do you feel that you can't change? Because of course we can. Every thought can be dissolved and changed into something else. And again, if you are in understanding of the energetic realm, thoughts are the beginning of creation, right? The word became flesh. So the thoughts, the words, the vibration is the creation element. So we need to be really discerning, really vigilant about what thoughts are going around in our head. Because again, on my other social media channels, I've spoken about psychic attacks. I have spoken about many people experiencing very negative, dark thoughts that are not usually theirs. And that's what I say to people is that is your reminder. That is your aha. This is not my thought. Where am I plugged into? And seek help if you need to, because psychic attacks can be quite nasty. It can lead you down a rabbit hole. It can lead you to thinking that you're going a bit crazy and end up in a psychologist or a psychiatrist room. But I ask you please to consider the energetic nature of thoughts. And that if you feel you need to see an energy healer or seer like myself, there are many of them around. It doesn't have to be me if you don't resonate with me. But really consider looking for alternative care. Step into the realm of energy medicine and see what it can offer you. Because this is just the beginning of that. We're going to be asked more and more to look at what is going on in our thoughts, to realize that those are electrical currents, that those are streams of energy, and that those are best placed, aligned according to our soul's wisdom, and up into a single silver white cord, however you want to say a golden flame, into source, right? So that our thoughts are ours and are aligned to our soul's wisdom and our highest aspect. So, electrical storms, mind games, feeling a bit crazy, psychic attacks, be vigilant and discerning. The third theme, just looking at my notes, is choices in the direction of energy. We are all conduits for divine cosmic wisdom and energy. We have energy running through us in a toroidal field in its most perfect scenario, but energy running through us, running away from us, energy from other people, circumstances running towards us. We are all energetically entwined. And so as these matrices break down, as we are asked to move to a place of disengaging, untangling ourselves from the drama, from the stories, from the fear-based construct, then we are asked to examine how we expend our energy. How do we move our energy? Since if we are a vessel of divine life force and our breath holds that life force in our physical body, then any choice we make is an expression of that energy. So as we make a choice, we direct our life force, our energy field, towards that point. So an example can be just the words we choose to speak. Because on a very simple biological level, we know that the voice box here is a bit like a vibrator, and using the breath, air, the vibration creates the sound, right? That's vibration and frequency. And your breath is your gift. It is the most valued, blessed gift as a human. And so using the breath through the voice to create words is creating energy, is moving in a direction. So if you are going to choose to use harsh words with harsh intent, you are going to energetically attack someone. And I know some of you might be thinking, no, surely not. Yes. And if you use it often enough and say the same word with the same attacking emotion, it will harm that person. It will energetically invade their field until at some point it reaches their physical body. This is a fact. I see it. So even just choosing kinder words, softer words, gentler words, looking at the intention behind the use of those words will aid to a more gentler environment, will increase your lights, and will really help humanity change and move to a better place. So yes, even your words count. So that's about choices, direction of energy. Obviously, there are bigger choices, bigger directions of energy, but know that you are this flow. You are receiving this divine life force and ask, where do I move it? How do I move it? With what intention do I move it? Because if we can really be focused on that from the heart, we can send love and light, we can send life force without damaging our own, if we're connected directly to source and just moving through us, asking for it to come through the heart center, which purifies that energy, we can really do vast amounts of good. So mid-May and June, choices, direction of energy. And then last but not least, there are changes in our energetic system happening all the time. And now these may not be relevant to everyone listening. You may be going through different stages, but there are many who are moving up into their heart who are no longer being engaged in the solar plexus. Because a solar plexus engagement is about personal power, is about ego. So often the most often place for energetic attacks and invasions is at your solar plexus. My stomach turned. She made me feel sick to my stomach. I felt like he punched me in the stomach, right? These are all words, verses that are actually very valid from an energetic point of view, because that punch in the stomach comes as an energetic surge. That sick to my stomach means someone sent their negative energy towards you. So the solar plexus is the point, one of the main points, not the only point, one of the main points at which the untangling, the detangling is happening. Moving from codependent to more independent relationships. Moving from giving your power away to staying in your power. Moving from tapping into someone else's power. So I have seen on a number of levels the dissolution of the solar plexus chakra as that person, individual, groups of individuals are moving to the heart. So our whole energy system is under change, which is the most beautiful thing, right? Because we are being asked to really consider the divine aspect of that seed, of the creation of life, like a star dropping in from the universe into the womb and the beginnings of the physical body, which is always starts with the heart. And understanding that the heart's energy field is that place at which we are being asked to awaken, to move into, to create this beautiful, beautiful new world, right? So I have a sentence that I think I want to just read for you, if I can find it. Maybe I can't find it, right? Because I wrote it down somewhere. Is that, words count, right? So use them. And something that is as simple as this could be used for you just to bring you back. The words are, I open up to the flow of divine grace into my life. Anchored and expanded from my heart, I hold no fear. I hold no fear. You have lots of light to share, beautiful beings. If you feel like connecting with me, send me a message, drop me a comment, look at all of my channels. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to offer you information that is beneficial. And as a healer, I'm here to see you. So with much love and blessings on this Friday, from a rainy Cape Town, we've got a fire going next door and my beautiful husband's creating a curry for supper, which is going to be delicious. So I'm hoping you have such a blessed evening, that you have loved ones to be with you, that you have a warm home, a roof over your head, food in your tummy. So from my heart to yours, from my home to yours, I send you so much love.